Love them.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tuck Rule Takes, the best Patriots podcast out there, episode 22. Not to be confused with the Stephen Ridley 22. This is the Asante Samuel number 22. Definitely Mr. Pick Six, except in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I am Mike Sullivan. With me, Liam McDade, fresh out the gym. Liam, what's going on?
I'm feeling quite swole, actually. If I could use the word stoic, that's how I feel.
If you're watching on YouTube, I feel like I would tend to agree. I think it's a trap season over there. No, you're not flexing at all. That's just natural, right?
Yeah, this is me resting.
Face is getting all red.
This is me flexing.
There it is. But yeah, so I guess we can't really beat around the bush anymore. Patriots lost this past weekend on my birthday. It was a nice little birthday present to me. 27-17. The score, I don't think the score dictates exactly how the game went. Yeah. I thought it was maybe one of those games where it's like, the score didn't dictate what the game was like. It was not. It was horrible. I mean,
it was never really that close.
Let's just be honest. The Pats came out with a flurry at the end in the fourth quarter there, but 27-17. Mac Jones had his rookie game. I think this was his big kind of rookie. Like he looked like a rookie for the most part. It seemed like he was throwing picks. He threw a couple picks. It was not pretty upsetting. He still threw for 299, which is like a weird. Kind of weird. He still threw for, what was it, 26 of 45, 299, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Might be the most yards he's passed for.
Yeah. I think he threw for just over 300 against I forget who it was, but he threw for like 307 or something, I think.
Oh, maybe.
Or something. Because I think that was the game. Yeah, I think probably Cleveland. But yeah, overall, definitely a rookie game by Mac. But I mean, for what is, I guess if you're going to look at the silver lining, he being down so much in the fourth quarter, he still brought him back to within a score.
I truly thought they were going to come back for the smallest amount of time, maybe like half a quarter. I'm like, do I live bet the Patriots? Like, are we still in this? And no, we weren't. If there was another quarter, then I think it is truly anyone's game. Mm-hmm. I think that it's a possibility, but time was just against them. And toward the end, they were just able to run the clock. We couldn't stop Jonathan Taylor at all. And, of course, the best running back in the league right now had another great game.
Yeah, but he had that big run. Yep.
Mike, tell me, how is Ginger Jesus? Tell me about, walk it to him Wentz.
Do you want me to tell you about first? Listen, no.
I want you to tell me about Carson Wentz.
I will tell you.
He's throwing fire.
Are you guys ready for Carson Wentz? Are you guys ready for this stat line?
Tell me.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
5 for 12. 57 yards. 1 touchdown. 1 pick. Can you say MVP? MVP, right?
Dub. City, baby.
I mean, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Top 5 quarterback in the league currently. Carson Wentz out there lighting fires in the secondary.
What fire? 5 fires. Literally 5 fires is what he threw. Actually, 6 if you want to count the interception as a completion as well.
The California wildfire started from a twig burning. Don't matter how little, it erupts into something big and ferocious.
Yeah, which was not Carson Wentz. I will not give you your Carson Wentz glory today. If he would have came out and he threw for, I don't know, even if he threw for maybe just, is it too much to ask for double-digit completions? Is that too much to ask for?
No need.
First of all, why aren't people asking if Frank Reich has lost trust in Carson Wentz, huh?
Just why would he? He's got a top 5 quarterback in the league. I don't think it crossed his mind once. I don't think it crossed Frank Reich's mind once. In fact, I think he would let Carson Wentz drive his pregnant wife to the hospital.
I hate this. This is not this.
I'm just saying, this is what I told you. I thought the Patriots were going to lose by 3. Carson Wentz trots into his home turf. 10-point differential. I was the closest one to predicting this outcome because I did have the Colts winning. I knew Billy B, like it was going to be real tough to stop the Jonathan Taylor combo with such an elite quarterback. It'd be like that. I know it's devastating, and I'm sad that he lost. If Carson Wentz could have thrown for 500 yards, 7 touchdowns, and lost by 3, that would have been the perfect outcome. But that's not reality, Mike. That's not reality.
Okay, so let me just bring you back to reality.
Carson Wentz, snap, baby.
Carson Wentz threw the ball 12 times, completed it less than half. He tried to give the game away. He tried. JC Jackson missed pick. Jamie Collins missed pick 6, probably, I would say. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I think the Colts ended up scoring on both of those drives. So you have to, I just kind of assume, because it feels like they scored on every drive almost. So odds are they are. Just to bring it back to reality real quick. The score is 27-17. Shitty score. Game was bad. You got to think, if the Patriots come up with those picks, which they normally, ball went right through Jamie Collins' hands, right through JC Jackson. Completely different game, especially with the Collins one, because that's a pick. Speaking of blocking, the punt block, that was the total tear down momentum. I think that's where the game kind of teeter-tottered the wrong way. That's where it kind of,
because did that make it 14-0?
Yeah, no, because it was 7-0. Pats were punting, and then they blocked the punt, which 3 blocked punts so far for the Patriots. It was an issue. It was an issue early in the season. I don't think that this one time is going to kind of, I don't think that issue is going to persist or, keep going on. It's just kind of an annoying thing. But yeah, back to Carson Wentz though. Carson Wentz is not the reason they won this game. Carson Wentz, if anything, Carson Wentz should have had a better game with how good Jonathan Taylor was. But you know what?
I couldn't ask for anything more.
At the same time, I will not sit here and say that it was necessarily let's be honest. It was kind of a bad performance. Like when he did throw the ball, he didn't throw. I know you wouldn't say that, you Philly sucker. I wouldn't.
And Tyson Bison out there slinging missiles.
Oh my God. Okay. So, but what I will say though, I'm not going to say that Carson Wentz is a bad quarterback because of this, because I'm kind of like you. I think the quarterback does whatever it needs to be done to win the game. Carson Wentz tried to throw the game. The Patriots did not oblige him. So he said, okay, whatever. I'm gonna sit here with my 5 completions. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can kind of literally on one hand.
Super Bowl champion. Walk it to him, Wentz.
He didn't even play in the game.
You got him there. It doesn't matter.
Oh God. Okay. So anyways, Carson Wentz, 5 for 12. Mac Jones, like I said, what was Mac Jones? Let's see. He had more than 5, right? Oh yeah. 26 completions. 26. That's like
a couple more.
That's like 5 times more. Almost a little bit more. 299 yards. Would have been nice for him to get that extra yard. I think, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to get 300 yards. I don't know what was going on there. Definitely an alarming game, or a bad game from Mac Jones, but he did pick it up in the 4th quarter. So it's kind of one of those things where there's definitely some bright spots from games like this, because you can't really harp on him that much. Because like I said, when you lose a game because of a blocked punt that results in a touchdown, that's 7 points right there. The big long 67-yard touchdown run. If you watch the play, Hightower even said it. I think it was McCourty said it today or yesterday. Taylor made one cut. They shouldn't have overplayed it. He busted it out for 67 yards. So, if they hold them there, who knows what happens with the game? But again, we don't live in a world of what ifs. The Patriots still lost.
Yes,
so, but again, Hunter Henry. I think other than Matt Judon, Hunter Henry's the best signing that Belichick had this offseason, right?
This is Hunter Henry's second 2-touchdown game, and yet I feel like this is his coming out performance as a Patriot. Like in the other games, he's had in most 3 catches. Usually he's 2 for 50.
Always right around touchdown. There, yeah. 3 or 4 catches.
Not a high volume at all in this game. He was the security blanket. That's what tight ends are supposed to be for. Supposed to be able to out rebound the ball from smaller defensive backs and, be faster than linebackers and whatnot, be the perfect mixture. And that's what Hunter Henry was in this game, catching everything that was thrown to him. He was that guy. The Colts had no answer, and they have spectacular linebackers. They still couldn't do anything about it. 6 for 77. 2 tubs
in that touch. So I will say this about Mac Jones, that touchdown, I think it was the first one where he threw it. And I swear the ball was probably it looked like 2 or 3 inches from getting tipped. He put that in the perfect position.
Spot.
So it's one of those things where it's throws like that. And just kind of max poise towards the end of the game, where this isn't a game that's going to make me worry anything long term. It's just, it's a shitty game, kind of like everybody said. You burn the tapes, you move on to the next one. Again, definitely no excuse. I mean, obviously, you wish you would have liked to play better, but I think this is the game where every single phase was not good. Yeah. Whether you're talking about
across the board, like players who are normally killing it weren't as good or up to standard as they usually are.
Yep.
And I was saying this going in. The Patriots weren't going to go undefeated after, losing 4 games. They weren't going to go undefeated for the regular season. I knew they had one more loss in them, whether it was this one or to Buffalo next week. I knew one of them was going to be a loss. Now I'm extremely confident we beat Buffalo next week, but we'll get to that later.
Yep.
And I knew that at some point you can't come out and play Patriots ball every week. Like, we saw it in 2008 because they truly had the perfect team around them. But most times you're not going to get all 53 guys on the same page every single week. This was just one of the ones where guys weren't playing as good. Mac, started out pretty tough. Couple bad throws, a couple sus. 2 picks, so not ideal. And then Jacoby Myers, he kind of ran that fan route up the sideline. Mac had him basically wide open. He had the guy burned, throws it. Jacoby got it in his hands, couldn't hold on to it. That's a catch he makes, 7, 8 times out of 10.
On that play, I was watching, someone broke it down on Twitter. I forget, one of the sports guys that I follow. Someone was breaking it down, and if you watch, because that was the flea flicker, correct? That was that flea flicker play, I believe. Yeah. So on that flea flicker, you see three things went wrong on that play. So you had Brandon Bolden ran up to the line, and it looked like the play took a little bit too long to develop. Yeah. So by the time he tossed it back to Mac, pressure was already getting to Mac. So we had to let it go a little bit early. But if you watch the play, Jacoby Myers at the end of his route, he kind of starts to turn upfield a little bit, which makes him do his little spinneroo dipsy do.
Yeah, I think if he kept over running, this shoulder and it came over
exactly. If he kept running, he was catching that and going in stride. So it again, it's one of those things where just everything that could have went wrong. It was Murphy's Law. It was Jacoby Myers. If he kept running, and it's no fault of his own, he just decided to turn upfield. He thought maybe who knows what was going on. If he kept running, he catches that. And then there was also N'Keal Harry streaking down the field. We'll get to N'Keal Harry in a little bit. Harry was streaking wide open down the field. If Mac had and then it goes back to that thing. If Bolden gets him the ball sooner, which again, no fault of his own, because there was the pressure was there. If Mac gets the ball a little bit sooner, he sees Harry wide open. I'm going to assume he hits him because Mac does throw a good deep ball when he does throw it. He actually had 2 deep balls this game to both Aguilar and Bourne, I think. It was either Bourne or Myers that were perfectly thrown balls.
Pretty big one.
Yeah, well, the other 2 missed it. Harry caught his because I think there was one down the line. I believe it was Aguilar, and it just Myers. That's what it was. It hit him right in the hands, dropped it, and it's just once you start seeing things like that, once you start seeing punts getting blocked, you kind of start to get that little that little devil on your shoulder kind of starts to creep up, and he's like, "Hey, you're not going to win this game."
You see the writing on the wall. And you're like,
Shit. Yeah. And I thought going into halftime, I was on. I shut because I was streaming it because again in Florida I couldn't get the game. I don't have cable. I cut the cord a long time ago, so I was streaming the game. Shut the laptop. I was like, I'm done. I am absolutely done with this.
Makes sense.
But then I was like, well, maybe, it's my birthday. Maybe the Patriots know it's my birthday. I don't know what they do down there. So maybe they want to win for me. It turns out they didn't, but I turned it on at halftime. I turned on after halftime, obviously. And just not great. But Mac Jones, good finish to the game. but a bad 3 quarters, I'll say.
Yeah.
He definitely
Really
outplayed
bad.
Carson Wentz, though. I need you to I need you to verbally say that he outplayed Carson Wentz.
Can't do it. Won't do it.
Okay.
He's gonna.
Well,
you're gonna tell me he outplayed Ginger Snap. You're gonna tell me
we will
that
just file
the North
this.
Dakota Steamboat was outplayed by Mac Jones. I refuse to believe it. I refuse. Old Carson Wentz was out there lighting this Patriots defense up like no one had done it this season.
Okay, so we'll just file this under your Cam Newton take too. Which, by the way,
Good.
how's Cam Newton doing? Actually, we don't need to talk about Cam Newton. That's fine. I'm sure that's
fine. He played fine.
I'm sure
He played fine for the trash team that he's given.
Yeah, he does have a trash team.
I'd like to see Aaron Rodgers do any better.
Aaron Rodgers might fuck around and make it to the Super Bowl this year. So by the way, so we brought up N'Keal Harry. Hunter Henry had 6 for 77. The next guy in line, yardage wise, N'Keal Harry, 2 for 52. He had that beautiful deep ball, which I know that's what we're all going to talk about.
Of course.
But not only that, he came up big. It was a comeback route. I forget when. I think it was in the 3rd quarter. Maybe it was even in the 4th. Caught it. It was N'Keal Harry. He has a chance to shine this week because kind of, dipping our toes into what's going on this week. Aguilar still not practice. I mean, no, Kendrick Bourne is on the COVID. Yeah. On the COVID list. He might come back. Aguilar is not practicing because he may have a concussion, or he does.
What he had? I thought he broke his ribs. He got crippled in this game.
No, I get he was out of practice and they put due to concussion today.
Okay.
So he was out.
You watched the game, like you saw the hit he took over the middle.
I saw the hit. I think so, but I guess that was his head. They showed his head hit the ground.
Wild.
So,
I swore he broke his wrist or his ribs or something.
It looked like it. So he is out. Jacoby Myers is healthy, but N'Keal Harry, he got hit hard too. He got taken out as well, but he was back at practice today. So he is good to go. This could be a very big week for N'Keal Harry. And I think I feel like it's been bubbling up this year with N'Keal Harry. He's been good at blocking, given his chances. He's been catching the ball this year. I'm still not so much on the side of people who are like, oh, N'Keal Harry just getting the short end of the stick. No, I don't think he's as good as anybody says. I'm not even talking about where he was drafted. I don't even think he's worth a 2nd round pick or a 3rd round pick at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope he can step into it. I hope that this week kind of gives him a little bit more confidence there. He did go up and get the ball. That catch was awesome. When he made that catch, I was like, the Patriots are gonna. I was like, when N'Keal Harry's making plays, come on. I don't know.
Oh, it's so disappointing. The raw ability's there. Like if you look at him on paper, you're like, he's got speed, he's got footwork, he can block, which no wide receivers can do anymore or want to do. He's got both.
Yeah.
So you look at him and you're like, we got a Pro Bowler, we got somebody who's a difference maker, we got somebody with a high ceiling. Then he gets on the field and just nothing is put together the way maybe it is in practice or maybe his intangibles would say they would be. I mean, he is the perfect example of like when you look at a beautiful girl and you're like, wow, she is stunning. Or, if you like guys, like you look at a beautiful guy and you're like, wow, he's a good looking dude. And then you go over and talk to them and you're like, wow, there's nothing here. It's like talking to a brick wall. There's no personality. That is the exact same thing as N'Keal Harry. It's all gliss and shine. And then when it's time to get the work done, there's nothing there.
I don't think I've heard a better comparison, a better metaphor. I think that works perfectly. I hope that he shows up this week because regardless, you're still going to be, I feel like you're going to be down either Bourne or Aguilar. I don't see the world where both of them
seems
play.
Like no Bourne is a definite.
See, I thought that, but then I guess the NFL tweaked their COVID rules, their COVID protocols. So I guess
goddamn, no one's playing.
Since Bourne, and by the way, we're going to get into that a little bit later. The league is being fucked right now by who is on COVID, except for the Patriots, for the most part. So, but no, Bourne, I guess since he is vaccinated, there's still a pretty good chance he can come back. That's what everybody's saying. I guess he's asymptomatic, so I guess that's like the big thing. Yeah. So I don't know what the protocols are. I didn't take the time to read the giant ass memo that came out, but I guess he might be able to come back. I'm thinking Aguilar doesn't play. I think that if Bourne comes back, I think that the Patriots I think that they just actively sit Aguilar down just with his concussion and everything. I don't think you mess with that. But either way, I still think this week against the Bills, N'Keal Harry, I think he's going to show up big. And I don't want to kind of give away what I think is going to happen in the game because we'll talk about that at the end. But I hope Harry shows up big. I really hope he does.
So I'm going to ask for maybe a little bit of a spoiler here without trying to go into too much details. For N'Keal Harry, say one of the starting wide receivers, doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Nelly or Bourne, just in this world that we live in, one of them isn't playing against the Bills this upcoming game.
Yeah.
And you are starting N'Keal Harry.
I hate it already.
How confident are you in a N'Keal Harry? Like, hell, I want to say like the best game he's ever played because it's a low bar, but how about like a 5-catch, 50 to like 75-yard game from N'Keal Harry and like a touchdown, like a good game by regular receiver standards, a great game by his standards. Are you buying or selling this? Like, are you taking it? How confident are you? Give me a number between 1 and 10 where you think this could happen. Because we're kind of stuck with him regardless. He's definitely playing. He's definitely starting. Yeah. You can't say I'm not because he definitely is. How confident are you that he can get the job done this Sunday? Or is it Sunday? I think so.
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, because Saturday's Christmas. So yeah, it's Sunday. Yeah. I think I even surprised myself. I think I just like thought myself into this. I'm at like a scale of 1 to 10. I'm at like a 7.2. There's a couple of reasons. And honestly, a lot of the main reason has nothing to do with Harry. The main reason is the last time the Patriots played the Bills, if you recall, they didn't throw the ball that much.
No,
I don't think the Bills don't know what to game plan for. You know what I mean? So, and also with White being out, that's still a big thing. So you got to think. So let's just say worst case scenario, you have Jacoby Myers, N'Keal Harry as your 2 starters. Then you got Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith, by the way, had a touchdown called back because of a bullshit holding call.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith is this close to breaking free, I think, this year. So I think any game coming up could be the Jonnu Smith game because I think
we're waiting for it.
They're getting him the ball. They're getting it to him on sweeps. They're getting him on short little routes and letting him do things with the ball. But anyways, back to N'Keal Harry. I think Mac has enough of a rapport with him because remember when Mac was here, when Cam Newton was here, Mac Jones was practicing with N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's some sort of a wavelength there. And I mean, he's going to be forced to look his way. And I think that Mac Jones is the type who's going to take it if it's there. And everything that I've been hearing or that people have been saying who actually watch like the all 22 film, N'Keal Harry has been open a fair amount of times this year. It's just Mac just hasn't looked his way for a plethora of different reasons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
drop it anyway. Fuck it.
I don't think he'll get a touchdown. I think that is going to be strictly reserved for Hunter Henry. And I'm even going to throw something out there. I think Jacoby Myers scores a touchdown. Well, I'll give you a little fucking spoiler.
Well, we've been waiting for that.
I think he scores his second touchdown of his career. Receiving, not running, not throwing. So. I think he catches one. But no, I think N'Keal Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if he has, I'm going to go 6 catches for like 40 something yards. But I think that they're going to be half of those catches are going to be big catches. Yeah. I think it's going to be, third downs or, kind of little, jump balls that he comes down with because he seems to be coming down with those for the most part.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel bad that he does get the shit end of the stick, but then I also think about how he's played, and I do think that he somewhat deserves it because first of all, we all need to remember he requested a trade. I'm sorry, when you request a trade from your team,
you're like
you're kind of like, I don't care what the coaches, the players, I don't care what you say, your agent or anything. When you request a trade like that, to me, like you're damaged goods. I don't care.
I don't know how you can turn around from that. Like even still, like if I was his teammate, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know you don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Imagine living with a college roommate and just knowing he doesn't want to live with you. Like, it'd be fucking weird.
Yeah, that's weird. That's like your wife like coming home or your girlfriend coming home and they're like, hey, so I was thinking about like screwing this guy.
Yeah,
But I just wanted to check with you.
I don't like this.
And then you say no, and then she goes, oh, okay. And then you're just fine.
I want to. Then she's like, I might want a divorce, and you're like, might? And then like she just kind of leaves you hanging. Like, yeah, we'll see. Let me think it over. Let me see. Let me just ponder this over. I'll get back to you in like 3 months. And you're like, that's a long time to ponder that big decision over. But all right.
Okay. And then you're still taking her on dates because that's what the Patriots are doing. They're still taking N'Keal Harry on dates.
Not good ones. You're taking her to like BK and Chick-Fil-A. Like you're not whining and dining because look at him. 2 catches, 52 yards. This is by far his best game.
Oh,
so I'm like, we're not taking him out to the chateau and fine whining and dining him and then hooplying in the back of the seat like on the way out. Like you're fucking taking into Chick-fil-A and
hey, Chick-fil-A, by the way, let just quick little tangent. What are your thoughts on Chick-fil-A? Good. Scale of 1 to 10.
I mean, like 14. There's one right. They just built it next to my house.
Okay. Here's my issue with Chick-fil-A. I go there if I want to go there around dinner time. The goddamn line is wrapped around so many times. I was trying to go. So get this. I went to see Spider-Man No Way Home on Wednesday night. No, Thursday night, not Wednesday night. Thursday night. I got my dates all messed up. Thursday night, go to see Spider-Man No Way Home. The line for Chick-fil-A was around the building and it actually came out onto like the little main road. I couldn't even pull into the theater. I'm sitting there freaking out because I'm like, listen, I'm not missing. I will get out of the car and walk. Like I'll park my car right here. I'll park my car right here and I will get out there. So fret not. I end up getting to the movie in time. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
I heard it was disappointing.
You heard wrong. You heard wrong.
From 2 people, 2 reliable sources that said it was disappointing.
Those sources are done. Quick. No, I'm not spoiling anything. Obviously, I would never spoil anything like this for anybody.
Yeah,
very good movie.
Please don't. I'm still gonna see
very good movie. But very good movie. Very
I'm solemnly disappointed that it's disappointing.
No, you won't be disappointed unless for some reason no, there's no way. Probably I would say
I'm a huge Willem Dafoe guy. Would that make me disappointed?
You will love this movie if you're a Willem Dafoe guy. You will love this movie. If you're just a Spider-Man fan, you'll love this movie. It was probably the most enjoyable movie experience I've had in Marvel since I don't even know, maybe like the first Avengers. I don't know. But either way, it was
better than Endgame.
No, Endgame is still my one. Endgame. This No Way Home is top 3 or 4. I still have Endgame and I still have Captain America Winter Soldier because I love that movie. I think No Way Home falls 3rd or 4th. I don't know. I got to see it again. But anyway, though, Chick-fil-A, the reason why I asked, the Chick-fil-a lines are just ridiculous.
You always got to fake an emergency. That's how I get to the front. I fake a heart attack halfway through. Be like, I need Chick-fil-A or like a diabetes. I don't know what a diabetes attack is, but just be like,
how do you fake a diabetes attack?
I need insulin and chicken.
I need sugar.
Exactly. Just like flip out and go to the front. And then you have to pound a pack of sugar, but then after that, you get your food much faster, and you might not have to pay for it if they feel bad for you.
Okay. Anyways, I forgot why we started talking about Chick-fil-A. So yeah, I mean the offense wise, I don't have much more to kind of touch on other than the running game not being able to do much was alarming to me.
Yeah,
I didn't like that.
No,
I mean, I know Damian Harris was
so much confidence in Ramondre Stevenson to step in, no problems asked, and tote the rock like nothing had ever happened. And I bet on him to get a touchdown. I won't even disclose the amount of money I lost on that bet, but I was so confident that he was going to go in and score. And like, he couldn't get it done. Brandon Bolden was even worse. It's like, I expected somebody to do well. Like hell, JJ Taylor coming in and have a big game. I just figured somebody would be that guy and kill it. And there just wasn't that energy. Just like I said, all the guys, offense, defense, all 11 starters, even some of the backups just didn't look inspired. They didn't look. They looked out of funk in a sorts. We talked about Jacoby Myers not playing up to his best. Ramondre Stevenson, the same story. Normally he's got energy. He's pinballing off a dude, smashing and crashing. And this one he's like just kind of dashing. It's like, dude, hit somebody.
He was just there. Yeah, and they said, Mac Jones said that after the game. He did bring up practice. And I remember Tom Brady. He did that multiple times throughout the year, every season he was here, where it was kind of one of those things where it's like, if you don't have a good game, you could probably look to practice why you didn't have one. So I guess I don't know what happened. But yeah, he mentioned that was it.
Practice.
Allen Iverson. What I will say though, I'm not going to get too technical, because I think I even get lost in the technical stuff sometimes if you try to like read all that shit. But I guess, and you could kind of see it when it was happening. This was one of the games I was getting upset at Josh McDaniels about, because when you were trying to run, you weren't doing what you were successful at for the last 7 games. You weren't putting Johnson back, Jakob Johnson back there. You weren't putting your 6 linemen back there. You were running out of your wide receiver sets, which to me, that's not, we said this, I think the last 3 weeks, the Patriots play bully ball. They line up and they say, we're going to run the ball at you, stop us. The Patriots didn't do that this game. It was more of like a weird, like, we're going to make you think we're going to throw it, but then run it without the fullback. It was just very straight. And we're also going to run it with regardless of what anybody says, Stevenson's still a rookie. So we're not even going to have Damian Harrison. We're going to run it with Stevenson it was very weird. I don't know what McDaniels was thinking this game, and kind of what really put the nail on the coffin for me. I think it was 4th and 1, and he ran a toss play. So my question there, first of all, I have a vendetta against the toss play. It is my least favorite play in professional sports, not even just football, just in sports. I hate the toss play, because what you do, instead of when you have a normal run, you have the running back running towards the line. Sure, he gets the ball 3 or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but he's running towards it. On a toss play, you take a 4th and 1, toss the ball, and now instead of a 4th and 1, you've essentially made a 4th and 6.
Yeah, you're stretching it laterally instead of running down.
And the defense knows what you're doing too. There's no play action. And for a defense like the Colts, who have fast linebackers, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you sneak it? The QB sneak is successful. God, it seems like for at least for 1 yard, 99% of the time.
It does.
Just sneak it. I didn't get how they were running. I liked that they kept running, but after the game and kind of even during the game, it was one of those things where it's like, wait, why don't we have like Onwenu on the line? Why are we running with 3 receivers on the field? Where's Jakob Johnson? Like, what is going on? Like, why? It just, the play calling seemed, I don't want to say like uninspired, because that's not it, but it didn't make sense. It was almost like you went away from what made you what you have been the last 7 games.
Yeah. The Patriots are really good at building on what they do beforehand for the next play. So, like, if they're running the ball 5 straight times, then eventually there's going to be a mean play action pass in there, which is normally going to get a tight end wide open over the middle is usually how it works. They work the seam route. Mm-hmm. For the outside toss, I get your gripe with it. I think it's really only effective if you have somebody like Chris Johnson. Then you're just beating them to the outside every time, and there's no chance. But obviously that's one guy. Or if you're constantly running it up the middle, they're expecting it up the middle, and then you can try and work it laterally. And as the middle linebackers try and crash the middle, you're basically beating the corners and the outside linebacker, or hoping the running back can break down the corner because they're not supposed to tackle. But that's kind of what you're looking for. But then there was never any, they couldn't get yardage running up the middle either. No, he got 36 yards on 10 carries. Stevenson did. And they were unspectacular. I wish I want to pull up how many first downs he had, because it wasn't much at all. They weren't running him. He wasn't, like I said, maybe. Yeah, he wasn't fighting for the extra yards like he normally did. If they ran him up the middle, 13 times and then threw 2 to the outside, then I get it. And he's bouncing off people. He's getting a couple first downs working up the middle. Then they're not expecting it. But you just got to build. It's all the game plan feeds off itself and what you've been doing all game, and you adapt throughout the game and change your game plan to fit the next play. They just weren't doing that. Like I said, they looked out of sync.
Yeah. It was it was genuinely frustrating to watch because I was watching.
Right.
I was like, what is this team that I'm watching? This isn't the team that I thought. Like, this isn't what the Patriots are. Like even if the Bills are going to, make you run the ball and all that, that's fine. I think no matter what defense you play, I think the Patriots can run on them if you run the way they run.
I want to give some
Don't
props to this defense though. Like
the Colts.
they were hitting the Patriots. This was one of the hardest hitting games against the Patriots I've seen.
I loved it
in recent memory. Like they were killing. Like I talked about, I thought Nelly broke his ribs. I was like, they crucified Nelly over the middle. They had a couple really mean hits, 2 mean ones on Mac after he had let go of the ball, which very well could have been a flag. Those are kind of toss-up plays, but they were lighting up our receivers. We would throw it over the middle, which is where McDaniels loves to work over the middle. Got crucified just multiple times, and it's
got the ball.
You got studs like for once in that game, but you got guys like Darius Leonard who can lay the wood. He had a great pick too, and it's just like they were just feeling it that day. When the defense is rolling like that, it's like the Legion of Boom back in the day. There's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, I think I don't know how you feel about this too. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this in the AFC Championship game. I would not be surprised at all.
You're preaching to the congregation. I know Carson Wentz is going to be there. I just hope
oh God, shut up. Because I don't think if we're looking, and again, we're going to talk about this later, kind of what's going on with the AFC now. The only team that really scares me is the Colts, because the Patriots pass defense was really good this game. And again, you can say it's because of they were running so much, whatever. But either way, Carson Wentz still, Carson Wentz still only completed 5 passes. Granted, he only had 2, but still, the Patriots pass defense was really good. Like we said, they should have had 2 picks. They should have had a pick 6, to be honest, with Jamie Collins. The Patriots defense, pass defense, was very good. Their rush defense, a little spotty, but I think it goes back to what we said. God, I want to say maybe 10 episodes ago. And I think I've seen this actually by people who it's their job to know this. There's no such thing as an elite defense anymore in the NFL. No. I think no matter I forget what it was. I looked at the tweet. It was like your top 5 defenses almost got gashed this week. And it's just, you don't know the defenses nowadays. If you have a top defense, that means you shut people down 75% of the time. The other, 25%, you give up 200 something yards rushing. You give up, some random big pass play in overtime to the Cowboys. It's just, the game has skewed so much to the offensive side.
Yeah.
But,
gone are the days of the 2000 Ravens, the 2002 Bucks. Those teams are over. It's a shame. That was my favorite kind of football to watch.
Oh, me too. That's why I loved it. See, so that's why I kind of want to see this game in the playoffs, because regardless of if the Patriots end on the 1 seed, 2 seed, wherever, again, we will talk about that as well. I do think that if the Colts and Pats play again, it's going to be in Foxborough. And I think it's going to be snowy. I think it's going to be one of my favorite games because I fucking love snow games.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be one of those knockdown, drag out games, kind of like this game was. But you gotta assume in that game that the Pats don't give up a blocked punt for a touchdown, that they don't give up, a 67-yard run, because your two of probably your 4 best defensive players overplay or run.
Yeah. Are you concerned with Dante Hightower at all?
No, I'm not, because I think other than this game, he's been very good. He's been blowing people up.
When you don't hear about a middle linebacker, that usually means they're doing really well.
Yeah, and that's been him. You have it, but then you watch on some of the people who break down the plays. He is just as strong as he's always been. He's just as instinctive. He's still running people over. He's still even in this Colts game, he was still blowing up blockers to stop Jonathan Taylor for 2 or 3 yards. I'm not worried about him. I know that it was like the cool thing when the year started to think that Hightower was washed or whatever for some reason. I don't know why. But no, I'm not worried about him.
Forget so quickly.
People forget how good he is. And by the way, I also want to give Devon Mccourty his flowers. For some reason, he's not. I don't know why. I think it's because he plays, and I'm going to compare. I think we've done this comparison before. I'm going to compare him to Tim Duncan in the sense where the way McCourty plays, it's not that exciting.
No,
It's really not. It's very by the books. He doesn't light you up like Rodney Harrison or Dawkins or anybody like that.
He's not like Ed Reed where everything's
Nope.
a pick six.
Nope. Who Ed Reed? I loved Ed Reed. But no,
Greatest safety I've ever seen.
He does everything you need him to do, though. He gets the defense lined up, he covers, he tackles, he hits, he comes up and run defense. He does all these things. I think if we're going to talk about one of the most underrated players for the past decade, McCourty has to be on there.
Oh yeah,
he's never talked about, but yet when people bring him up, you'll have people be like, oh yeah, no, he's good, and then they just move on to other people. And it's like, just because he doesn't have all those pick sixes or all that, he's one of the best safety, and he still is, and this might be his last year or one of his last years. Yeah. He's still so good. So I don't know. I just kind of, and that's why it was so funny that Hightower and McCourty were the two that got kind of juked on that big run by Taylor. It's like, of all the people, like,
that's how it was destiny for the Colts to win this game. Once that happened, I'm like, besides the block punt, I'm like, there it is.
And that's kind of, I've been watching the Brady documentary. I think I texted you about it, the whole the man in the arena thing that he does. So I will say this, going in there as someone who couldn't give two shits about Brady right now because he's not on the Patriots, but luckily it is not so. It's kind of, Brady's is a focal point, but it's not really it's not, it doesn't surround him. But just to bring it back to what I'm talking about now, there were so many times where he was like, yeah, we played the Steelers in the regular season. We got our heads bashed in. We met them again in the playoffs and we kicked their ass. There's so many games that you see, and it's like, oh, I forgot that they got lit up by, the Chiefs. I forgot they got, demolished by, the Dolphins, the Bill. Yeah, the Bills
beat them 36-0, and then with Drew Bledsoe.
That was Bledsoe and Lawyer Malloy, right? Wasn't Lawyer Malloy there too? Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, you kind of always look, and then like you'll see the record. It's like, oh yeah, they were, Patriots ended the season 12-4. They were the 3 seed, but like no one, like I'm sure the sky wasn't falling looking back on it. But now it's just so funny. Like the Patriots right now are 9-5 in the number 2 seed, and people are like, oh my God, up in arms and everything. And again, it sucks to lose the 1 seed and all that, but it's like, you got to put it in perspective after a loss like this. Like, these things happen. I mean, the Bucks lost 9-0. Like, the Lions, the Detroit Lions beat the Arizona Cardinals. So let's not sit here and act like this loss was the worst loss of even the weekend. The Patriots lost to a very good Colts team who is getting hot at the right time. I did want to ask you this kind of, and we still have a little bit more to talk about with this game. Do you believe in the phrase, that teams peak too soon or things like that? Do you believe in that?
No, I mean, not particularly, because it seems odd. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Normally when I hear stuff like that, I'm a big history of the game type guy. Like I know every team from like 2007 and what they did and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I try and think of examples like that where obviously teams are going to start out really well and then kind of fade out. If you call that a peak, then because I thought that the Chargers were going to do that and stuff. The
Raiders were really good to start the year.
But I don't know if that's just them peaking at the right time or the wrong time, or if it's just like a lack of consistency for the team and whatnot. Maybe injuries play a part of that too. Like, there's so many factors in football, especially now with everyone going down with COVID. It's like, you never really know what's going to happen a few games away. But no, I don't believe that, just because it seems so egregious to me. Like, if a team starts out 7-0 and then loses the last 7, it's like, oh, they peaked too early. It's like, no, they probably just fell apart toward the end, and like there may be a locker room issue or something. Yep. So I don't particularly. I'd have to do some research, but I don't think there's much merit in that.
Okay, and that's kind of what I figured. That's kind of along my same line of thinking as well, because I saw people say that, going into this game, before the game was played, be like, oh, are you worried that the Patriots are peaking too soon? They're on a 7-game winning streak. So, like that. doesn't make sense to me because I think if your team can be classified as peaking too soon, you're not a good team. You're just a lucky team. You just happen to strand together a few wins. You know what I mean? Like I believe in teams getting hot at the right time. That's different. Like, the Giants, the 2 years they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, they got hot at the right time. But I don't believe in teams peaking too soon because in that case, it's like you're just not a good team. You're just getting lucky.
You just can't show consistency.
Peak, yeah. Because if you're peak and then your valley is this low, you're not a good team. You're not peaking too soon. You just got lucky. You had a couple bounces go your way. So, but yeah, I just want to ask you because people were saying that about the Patriots, where it's like, oh, could they be peaking too soon? I'm like, no, they're just playing well, so they're beating teams. Like, it has nothing to do with that.
Cherry picking at some point. Maybe you're looking a little too much into it, trying to find something that's not there.
Yeah, which, I don't know. So, yeah, Patriots did defense. I mean, the defense, honestly, other than that blocked punt, I mean, they gave up 20 points. Not great, but definitely not bad. And then, I mean, I know they gave up that, big, 67-yard run, inexcusable, but listen, I'm a Patriots fan. I'm going to look at the glasses half full. You take away the blocked punt, which technically the defense didn't give up. That was just a breakdown in special teams. And you take away that giant ass run, Patriots only gave up 17 points. So, I mean, let's not act like this is the end of the world.
Yep. Call a spade a spade.
No, actually, no, they only gave up 13 points, not 17 points. My bad. But either way, again, Patriots still gave up a shit ton of points. Did you have anything else that you want to talk about with this game in particular?
No, I want to bury this game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of done with it, to be honest. It's just one of those bad games. I mean, shit, the Patriots got, blown out worse than this to the Chiefs that year, the on to Cincinnati year. They went on to win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, let's not, let's not act.
Could be a big momentum thing.
It could be. And, that's kind of, I think there was, who was it? I think it was Matthew Slater or McCourty or someone said, sometimes games like this, you kind of need them, and I hate when fans say that, but when players say, hey, it's a good team building thing. It's a good, it's something that we needed. Then it's like, oh shit, like you guys get it. So
yeah, hey, that means they got a good outlook or mentality, I guess, about it, and that makes me feel better.
Yeah, no, which means they got good leaders. They got Judon, they got McCourty, they got Slater. Then I mean, even on offense, it seems like Damian Harris has taken a role of kind of leading a little bit. You got I know
Jamie's going to be gone next year, but.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know. Well, we'll see. That's an issue for later on. Yeah. But yeah, so Patriots lost. They're still the number 2 seed in the AFC though. So let's not act like shit's going wrong. If they win out or if they just beat the Bills this weekend, they have the AFC. So I'm not worried. Who should be worried is the NFL right now. The NFL, I think currently the last few days, it's been 150 players have been added to the COVID list. Kendrick Bourne being one of them. I'm assuming he's going to come back, but even if he doesn't, whatever. Big names, you got Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill got named to the COVID list. They play on Christmas Day, don't they? The Chiefs. I believe the Chiefs. Let me actually look it up right now. Christmas Day games. I typed in Christmas Day games, and it's bringing up games you can play with your family. I don't want to.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to. That's not.
Games.
It's not what I'm looking at, people. Stupid. So you got the Browns and the Packers and the Cardinals and the Colts. Okay, so I was wrong. Whatever, it is what it is. Sometimes you're wrong. But yeah, either way, you still have Travis Kelce. You got Brandon Cooks gone for the Texans, which upsets me because I have him in fantasy.
Yeah, that's tough. Although I'm not a fantasy now, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, see, I had a bye week the first week because I finished in first. So, that's perks of being the best at what you do. So Austin Eckler from the Chargers is out. You have a good amount of people that are out. I bring up Kelce and Hill. I think it would be interesting. Who do the Chiefs play? Chiefs.
Get somebody easy, unfortunately.
No, isn't it the Steelers? So Chiefs play the Steelers on Sunday.
Sounds like a trap game.
Especially if Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are out. I think this is one of those games where if they are both out and you see Mahomes kind of perform mediocrely, averagely, I think we can kind of say, yeah, Mahomes is good, but he also has a track team, all-star, all-pro team that he plays with. So I think that if Kelce and Hill are both out, or honestly, even if one of them are out, the Steelers are one of those weird, dumb teams that like they'll randomly be in the game in the fourth quarter somehow, even though Big Ben can't move. Like the Patriots, I mean, the Steelers offense is in shambles. It's like they could still come in. So
yep.
I hate rooting for Pittsburgh again, but we want Pittsburgh to win.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh can beat the Chiefs. Patriots play the Bills. You win, you're back in the 1 seed.
I think Pittsburgh has some momentum too with Big Ben retiring. I don't think it's crazy. I might bet on Steelers just for the fuck of it.
I would if Kelce or Hill are out, you might as well, honestly, because think about it. I mean, the Steelers do have an above average defense, or they can play. They're not consistent, but they can play above average. They're a team that strikes me as one that plays to the level of their competition.
Yeah.
Where if they're playing a shitty team, they're not going to play great, but they get up for these big games. So I don't know, seeing them go against the Chiefs. I mean, we'll know, because at that point the Patriots would have already played because the Chiefs play at 4:25. I don't know. I think if Kelce and Hill are out, I'm picking the Steelers. And that'd be awesome, because I think if the Patriots get the 1 seed this weekend, I don't think they let it go.
I'm betting on Josh Gordon touchdown. That's all I'm betting on.
Josh Gordon actually just got activated off the COVID list, so he
beautiful.
My
man.
He will be playing. I think so. So just in, I want to say at what is it right now? So about actually an hour ago, Patriots Pro Bowlers have been announced. Do you want to take a guess who you think they are?
Judon.
I'm not gonna tell you if you're right or not.
Okay.
No, I'll tell you. No, Judon. Yeah,
okay.
Fucking obviously.
Right.
Yep. Two of them are kind of obvious.
Okay, so give me how many on offense, how many on defense?
2 on defense, and if I tell you where the other one is, you'll know who he is exactly. He's on special teams.
Oh, obvious. Yeah, I mean, Matthew Slater is going to be in there regardless, so that's not even giving anything away. He's literally in the Pro Bowl every year.
Like, Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
First ballot.
So fucking good.
Crazy.
So good. Him and his dad.
No one cares.
Him and his dad. Hall of Famers. Do you know who the third one is? Kind of obvious again.
So there's 2 defenders, J.C. Jackson. So there's 3 I got right there. And then there's 2 more on offense?
No. That's it. Just Jackson, Judon, and
it was just 3.
And Slater. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I think that's good. So we'll kind of do a kind of an impromptu little segment here. Do you think anybody else on the Pats should have been in?
I would have to look at numbers compared to others at his position.
I think tight end stats. I think
you read my mind.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
he's got to be up there for
Hunter Henry has the most touchdowns for a tight end right now.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, he catches, and he went through that stretch where he had 5 straight games with a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that, right?
Because that would be the other one that my mind would immediately jump to, mostly because Darren Waller's been out. Mark Andrews has had some unspectacular games. George Kittle has just come back from injury. Of course, he's balling now. But if we're going to take those guys out because they missed most of the season, like, Hunter Henry seems like he should be on there.
He should be. I'm trying to – I hate some of these
amazing
things.
You just automatically went to look up tight ends because you knew where I was going with that.
Well, because, I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. Like, come on, he's had actually a good season. I think what's probably going to hold him back is probably his yardage, because I don't think he has
catch volume isn't there either for the most part.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
He'll have like 3 catches, 2 touchdowns, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. Like, 1 or 2 catches, 1 touchdown, like all the time. So the volume isn't there, but
I think there was that one game where he had what? It was like 2 catches, 24 yards and a touchdown. And it's like
against the Browns, I think.
Was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
He had 2 touchdowns against the Browns. I know that.
Let me see. Shit. Okay. Hunter Henry has 9 touchdowns right now, 9 receiving touchdowns, which is the most in the league. Behind him is Mark Andrews and Dawson Knox from Buffalo.
Okay, and Dawson Knox isn't making the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. So, but you know who is? Kelsey, I'm sure, is making it. Yeah. I'm sure Kittle or Andrews are going to make it. So, yeah.
See, that's so weird.
Yardage wise,
just
though,
a popularity vote.
This is where Hunter Henry gets screwed. So yardage, he has 471 yards.
Oh my God.
I mean, we're looking, Andrews and Kelsey have over 1,000. Kittle has 850. Dawson Knox has 527. Dallas fucking Goddard has 731. So yeah, he is monster. He is, I don't even I'm trying. Pat Fryermuth has 422. So he has more yards than Pittsburgh's tight end. Yeah. So that's what's holding him back. If he had more yards, he'd be up there.
But the touchdowns count for nothing. I mean, that's kind of the most important part of the game.
The whole point of being on the field.
You can catch 200 yards and not score and not impact the game.
I don't know. But like you said, it is kind of a popularity thing. But either way, I don't care because guess what? It doesn't matter because Patriots are going to be in the Super Bowl. So those guys aren't going to be playing in the Pro Bowl.
Anyway, yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, do you think on offense, any other, I don't know who else would maybe
Mac would be my only other nod, and then it's like, actually, no, I'd have to look at running back numbers too. But Damian Harris, it's maybe because he missed a couple
games. Yeah, if he would have stayed in, he would have been up there.
The touchdown numbers are crazy.
You think maybe some offensive linemen? I'm trying to think who maybe should have stayed in there. Like I know David Andrews is good, but I know he's never going to get it.
If the Pro Bowl skilled positions are a popularity contest, then the linemen, especially offense, it's all popularity. It's all big
because no one
stuff like that. Because like, who are you gonna vote for? Like Kelechi Osemele, who's one of the better offensive linemen in the league, or are you gonna vote for like, Shaq Mason? Like,
it's kind of. By the way, Shaq Mason's been really good this year.
Really good. Very and good. like if I think anyone could make a Pro Bowl on the offensive line, I would say Shaq Mason and David Andrews are both extremely capable. Obviously, Trent Brown is the difference maker, but he missed so many games.
Yeah, no, he missed a lot. And then, I mean, Isaiah Wynn's been hit or miss. By the way, so are you worried about Isaiah Wynn, by the way? I see a lot of people kind of getting upset with him. He hasn't been as consistent, but he's definitely not been as bad as people say.
I don't like him, to be honest. He's just not he's one playing of those guys up to par. And the Patriots being such a run-heavy team, you reward offensive linemen with run blocking. They don't like to pass block. They want to run block. They want to pancake. They want to get off the line of scrimmage, get to the second level, get to the third level, and absolutely ruin somebody. So with a team that rewards their offensive linemen as much as the Patriots guys does, you expect better effort in the passing game. And he just cannot pass protect. I don't want to say to save his life, but he has been subpar in most circumstances. And it's like he's had some great moments. He's had some moments of fame where I'm like, this guy's holding down the fort. But like in offensive lineman, it's a very unceremonious position. If you're bad for 3 games, then you might as well have been bad your whole career. Then you're just not a good tackle. Like Winston Justice, the old Eagles tackle, used to crush it. Consistency never hurt all throughout his season. Then he gave up like 4 sacks to Clay Matthews, 2 on like back-to-back plays, and like just got roasted. And then everyone bullied him, and he threatened to shoot up the locker room and stuff like that. And like friggin', and then his whole career fell apart, and everyone was like, "This dude sucks. He's never been good." And I was always like, "All right, well, hold on." But like that's just how it works. Like people are gonna look at the body of work you've done recently, and they want you to update your resume. If your resume doesn't look good in the last couple games in the last year, sorry, you're not a good offensive lineman. It's a cutthroat business, tough position. No love for it if you do well, and certainly no love if you do bad. Sorry, Isaiah, I do not like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He has it. Seems like recently I've been seeing his name more in a negative light, which is definitely alarming. So it's not one of those positions or one of those players where I'm like, oh, I have to worry about him. But it's one of those players where when a flag gets called and it's him, I'm like, shit, him again. If that makes sense, like I'm not worried about him on the field, but when he does something wrong, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck him. Like, it's one of those
then
things,
if Shaq Mason does it, you're like, what are you doing?
Oh God, if Shaq Mason, if David Andrews gets called for holding, I'm like, okay, listen, sir, Mr. Referee.
Oh, if David Andrews snaps the ball over Mac's head or even puts a snap that isn't right in the breadbasket, then everyone's like,
nope, Mac's fault,
buddy. Like,
I'm
what
saying
are you
it's
doing?
Mac's fault. Yeah, I would blame Mac. I'd be like, listen, that was on you, buddy. Put your hands in the right spot. But no, Shaq Mason has actually been kind of an unsung hero for this line. You haven't heard his name, and that's all you want as an offensive lineman. Like Trent Brown, other than to kind of start the season when he got hurt, when he came back, he was a little rough. You haven't really heard Trent Brown's name. Yeah, Trent Brown has been very good. Solid. Shaq Mason, very good. David Andrews, Isaiah Wynn, a little iffy. I mean, you got Mike Onwenu, and then you got Ted Karras, who's been really good too. So Patriots offensive line is good. That's one of those things. That's why I'm not too worried about the team, because the core is good right now. It's just you had a shitty game against the Colts. I mean, let's just call it what it is. But so right now the Patriots are the number 2 seed. I am looking it up right now just so make sure I get all the actual like seedings and all that fun shit right. So right now you have the Chiefs in the 1 seed, 10-4, only 10-win team in the AFC. Next, you got the Patriots, who are 9-5. The Titans are 9-5 as well, but you have the tiebreaker over them because you did beat them. Because Ryan Tannehill, spoiler alert, he's not good when Derrick Henry isn't there. Granted, he tricked me too. He tricked us all into thinking he was good. He's an average quarterback.
He's a deceit artist, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what he's good. But they are saying Derrick Henry there's a very strong chance now. I think you brought it up last week that he should be back for the first week in the playoffs. So kind of alarming, but at the same time, I don't know. I will never get scared over a team that has Ryan Tannehill as their starting quarterback.
Now Julio's hurt again. Like their team
Julio's nicked up. Yeah, Julio's on the back end.
He comes back for one game and then he gets hurt like the second quarter. Couldn't even make it a whole half. And it's like, I think Julio's been on the way out for a while, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Last couple of years.
Since I want to say it was 3 years ago or 4 years ago, he used to have consistent seasons of like crazy yardage and then like 2 touchdowns.
Best receiver in the league.
Yeah, and you heard that all the time, and I'd always be like, the best receiver in the league would get in the end zone more than twice, more than 3 times, more than whatever numbers he had.
When you started to know when he stopped scoring touchdowns. Because it's like, sure, could you blame it on the Falcons offense? Yeah, a little bit. But if you're Julio Jones, like
he had like 3 touchdowns in the year Matt Ryan won MVP. I was like, what is
that's like the closest person I'll compare Julio Jones to is Megatron. I guarantee you there was never a year where Megatron just didn't have that many touchdowns.
No,
because it doesn't matter if you're covered or not, you're still going to get the ball. So there is something up with Julio.
Even when he's covered, he's open.
I love Megatron. So we all do, but you go love Carson Wentz on your own.
I don't hate Megatron. He's just, not in my top 5.
Moving on. In the 4th seed, you have the Bengals, who have creeped back into here somehow. Bengals are 8-6.
They're so weird.
I don't know. Colts are 8-6. We know how the Colts are. Chargers 8-6. So everybody's just fucking 8-6. Chargers are 8-6. Bills are 8-6. Bills, by the way, if the Browns got their shit together and didn't have 50% of their team on the COVID list, if they would have won, Bills would have been out of the playoff spot right now. So
imagine.
They can this week. If the Ravens win and the Patriots win, which means they beat the Bills, obviously, Bills are out of the playoff spot. So, and they have they have a 0% chance of winning the East.
Yeah,
I think because then they'd be 2 games behind, and the Patriots would have the tiebreaker. So so the Bills are kind of bringing up the rear there, 8-6,
as they usually do.
So I do want to ask, of the teams, everybody here, And I'll even throw the Ravens in there. Ravens right now are technically out of the playoff spot, but the Ravens are the 8th seed. I'm not going to bring up the Steelers, Raiders, anybody else, because I don't think that's worth bringing up. Anybody on this list, kind of we'll kind of reconvene what we did a couple weeks ago. Anybody here scare you?
I mean, when the Colts are led into battle by that warrior of a quarterback, they scare me. When Patty Mahomes seems to have figured it out and the Chiefs are playing well, they sort of scare me. I'm definitely more scared of the Colts than I am of the Chiefs. I think if you watched the last Chiefs game, I don't know what happened to Patty Mahomes. He is missing swing passes, like wide open in the flat.
He didn't look good for 3 quarters.
He cannot throw it, or not that he cannot, but he was missing atrocious throws that if Cam Newton does that, it's all over Instagram. This guy has to retire. This guy's terrible. He can't even throw it to the flat. Patty Mahomes does it. Silence. Nothing. No one says anything. No one cares. And it's just like, he had a lot of concerns and a lot of things that I was like, that is uncharacteristic. That's not what I've seen. So I'm not entirely full-fledged hiding under my bed when I know the Chiefs are coming to town. The Colts I'm scared of. The Bills I'm not scared of.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the Steelers. We own them. I know you didn't even put them in the conversation. We own them.
Yeah,
the only reason I have like 20% worry for the Steelers, just because, I'm a big believer in fate. Big Ben's last year, I wouldn't be surprised if everything culminates together and maybe they go on some weird run. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's like a 20% chance, but I think it could.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
But other than those teams, like you said, the Raiders, fool's gold. I don't think they're anything capable.
The Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers we already beat once, and
the Bengals. That was the other team.
Yep, the Bill Belichick has an immaculate record against young quarterbacks, so I'm not worried about the Bengals or the Chargers, mostly because we already beat the Chargers, and I think he can blitz the hell out of Joe Burrow, give him flashbacks to him snapping his knee last year, and we would get right underneath his skin.
Yeah, no, Burrow won't know what to do.
No, if the Bengals are losing to the 49ers, excuse me, nice burp. If the Bengals lose to the 49ers, which they did, then they'll certainly lose to the Patriots.
Yeah. So I agree with everything you said. The Chiefs, I wanted to bring this up because I brought this up with the Bills. And I hate to say it because it's like, oh, who did they beat? And like they can't pick who they play. So I'm not diminishing their wins. What I'm asking is who have the Chiefs beat? Let me ask you. Week 1, they played the Browns. They won 33-29. That might be the most impressive win on their schedule. Again, but it was still week 1. I say it was still week 1 because the Patriots lost to the Dolphins week 1. Like you have all these weird games. Aaron Rodgers got blown out week 1. So let's not act like week 1 is the end all be all. But again, still good win. Week 2, they lost to the Ravens. Week 3, they lost to the Chargers, who the Patriots beat. Week 4, they beat the Eagles. Like, cool. Like,
no, that's a good win.
Like, I'm not. That's not a good. Take your bias out. That is not a good win.
There's no bias.
Not a good win.
I am truly impressed. Blown away.
Moving on, you son of a bitch. Week 5, they lost to the Bills. They got shit canned by the Bills, 38-20. Week 6, they beat the Washington football team. Whoopsie freaking do.
That's not a
Week 7, 27-3, they lost to the Titans. Week 8, they beat the Giants. Are you gonna put that on a plaque, Kansas City, and say that was like a great win? Week 9, they beat the Packers. Week 9, hey, we beat the Packers. That's a good win. Oh wait, Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing.
No,
not a good win. And you barely beat them, 13-7. If you watch the game, if the Packers had Brian Hoyer as their quarterback, they would have won that game, but they didn't. So the Raiders, they beat the Raiders. Divisional game, good game, but the Chiefs do own the Raiders. But again, I'm not gonna diminish that. Whatever. Cowboys, they won 19-9. I guess you could say that's a good win because the Cowboys were, I think, the number 2 team at that point. Even though the Cowboys have been going through some peaks and valleys, they still beat them. Next game, they beat the Broncos. I don't put that as anything big because the Broncos don't have a good quarterback. They have nothing.
And Teddy Bridgewater's hurt again. So
Bridgewater had to get carted out of the stadium. So whatever. Chiefs beat the Raiders again. again, I get it's a divisional game and I understand, but I see this as kind of like when the Patriots play like the Jets because the Raiders just don't play well. Oh, hey, they finally beat the Chargers 34-28. And now this week they're playing the Steelers. Moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, not scared of the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't have that many good wins. The Raiders, by the way, do not play any tricky, scary defense. They play one or two specific types of defenses and just hope that works. Browns game to start the year. That's great. Patriots beat the Browns too. What do you know? Who cares? And then you beat the Packers. I feel like people forget that Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing. So like when people say, oh, the Chiefs beat the Packers, it's like, yeah. Who was the quarterback?
Yeah, not impressed.
Not Aaron Rodgers. If it was Aaron Rodgers, you lose that game. And the Patriots are the 1 seed right now. So granted, I am still worried just because I'm not gonna assume that Kelsey and Hill are going to be on the COVID list when they play. So yeah, I'm sure they'll be healthy.
They'll be off in a week.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be there. So that's scary. But like you said, though, Mahomes, there's something. He's playing real Cam Newton-y recently, where like
we're not trying to compliment him here. We're trying to talk about how bad he's been playing.
Oh yeah, that's why I brought up Cam Newton.
You might as well just say he's been playing like Dan Marino. Ooh,
bottom tier quarterback.
That's what you mean. See, that's where our paths split. That's where you're misguided, old sport. I think
Cam Newton, Hall of Famer,
first ballot.
That's a conversation for another day.
He's got so many rushing touchdowns, broken so many records.
That is a conversation.
15-1 on the way to a dominant playoff run to a underwhelming Super Bowl.
Yeah, I do wish he won that Super Bowl though. I will.
Telling me.
Yeah, I'm Patriots fans. Of course, we don't like Peyton Manning.
Hate him. Giant forehead. Can't stand
the biggest forehead in all the land.
Couldn't land a plane on that broad.
So basically, though, the Chiefs kind of worried. The only team I'm genuinely worried about is because I don't know how the Patriots are going to handle them again. Is the Colts? That's it. Because the Colts, I think Jonathan Taylor, I think he has the inside track to get the MVP. To be honest, granted, and I only think that because I know Brady kind of had like he was going to get it. Brady hasn't had great games the last couple of weeks.
That last game was bad.
Horrible. One of the worst games I've seen. Yeah. So Jonathan Taylor, he's very good, but you have to think that Belichick's going to make the adjustment. And like I said, assuming all those self-inflicted wounds or opportunities not taken don't happen again, I think this game goes completely different if the Patriots and Colts play in the AFC Championship game, which I am calling now. I think that's what it's going to be. But do you think Chiefs right now are the number 1 seed? They have to win out, obviously, to keep it. They play the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Panthers, I think. Let me see. Chiefs schedule. They play the Steelers, Bengals, and Broncos. The Patriots play the Bills, Jaguars, and Dolphins. Do you think Kansas City drops one of those games and New England wins out and they can somehow get the number 1 seed again?
I think New England wins out. Unfortunately, I also think Kansas City wins out. The only one in question for me for Kansas City, like we talked about, is the Steelers game, and that's because they have 2 of their best weapons out.
Yep.
If there was a peak at the right time, which we both agree, there's peak at the right time, not the wrong time. It seems like the Chiefs have peaked at the right time. Obviously, there's still problems with the quarterback. But
yeah. So I don't know. But worst case scenario,
I think it's truly a toss-up. Literally, they could both win out, and then obviously the Chiefs get it. But
exactly, yeah. Which again, I don't think number 2 seed going into the playoffs. That's not the worst thing for the Patriots,
100%,
because you still have home field against everybody but the Chiefs.
Half the time they won the Super Bowl, they were like the 2nd, 3rd seed. Like they don't care. Yeah. It's just what do you do in the playoffs?
Well, yeah, no, that's because normally like the Colts or the Ravens or the Steelers would take the 1 seed. Patriots would go in as the 2, and they'd still win. They'd go in 12-4. The other team would go 13-3 or 13 no. Yeah. 13
that makes sense.
Whatever. Yes. I keep seeing the 17 game season fucking me up.
When I found out this upcoming week is week 16, I was like,
yeah, no, like, so this is the
last week.
What do you mean? I don't like it at all. I don't know why Roger Goodell did this. Well, I do know money. That's why. He's just a greedy son of a bitch.
Clown.
So I think that was all. Let me just make sure. I think that was all I had to, COVID. Oh, yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you. So with these games, with the COVID and everything, with the games getting postponed, do you think the NFL should do away with Thursday night games and do a doubleheader on Monday?
No,
because right now, because they had to postpone the Thursday night game, or no, they had to postpone the games that the Browns and the Raiders played, and
which
then the
would have been
Seahawks,
on
all those
Saturday
games.
or Sunday or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the double header Monday games. I don't like the Tuesday games. Tuesday games can piss
they
off.
did the
Don't like
doubleheader
that.
on Tuesday. I thought they only did one on Monday.
No, they did on Monday. Monday they had a game start at 5, and then they had a game start at 7, or like the normal time. Yeah, let me actually pull up just to make sure, because I know that it was Monday.
I cashed it on the
night.
Birds and Rams yesterday, so that's why I know it.
Yep, yeah. I know they played. Let me see.
How about
Monday
the Birds though?
header.
And Jalen Hurts. Oh, it hurts, baby. That's a quarterback right there. Imagine what Bill Belichick could do with Jalen Hurts. Oh,
well, he actually. Well, remember everybody thought that's who. Well, no, not Jalen Hurts. It was Justin Fields. That's what everybody thought they were gonna get. But no. It was the Browns, Raiders, Vikings, Bears. That's who played Monday.
Okay.
So it was 2 of them. I don't know. I think I'm just trying to get away from Thursday night football. I just don't like it.
I love it. I need a reason to drink on Thursday.
I mean, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you want to,
get my weekend started early, because I go abstinent from Monday to Wednesday, and then things get fucking weird.
And then just things get wild, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, get unhinged like a snake opening up its jaw for its prey.
That's how it's going to be this week. Are you gonna do some Christmas drinking? You're gonna do some Christmas drinking during the games, and then also on Sunday as well, kind of do a whole weekend of drinking
anyone
there?
from my family, the answer, and you would know this, is a resounding yes. In fact,
do you have any like special, like Christmassy alcoholic drinks you do, or like special drinks for the occasion, or do you just go your regular whatever you do?
I always sit down in my living room, and mostly every time basically I've watched, it's all NBA on Christmas. Now we have some football games, which I think is kind of sus. I don't know what the NFL is trying to do there.
It's weird. Yeah.
Sneaking in on NBA day.
I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but I'm going to be sitting in my chair in the living room with a 30-pack of Bud Light right next to my chair, and I will just siphon from this every so often. Usually the family cooks up some sangria too, which is like our go-to holiday thing. If I'm feeling
love sangria.
It's so good, and like wine drunk's the best. But then like if I'm going to start drinking like early, like yes, I'm not above drinking a Bud Light at 7 a.m. Been there, done it, love a morning Bud Light, but mimosas are also a classic option on the holidays, so I think that's in there. I don't like eggnog. I think eggnog tastes like children's blood. I do not like, I don't know, what's another Christmas drink? It's like I don't like fruit cake. I don't like
a lot of peppermint stuff is what you get on Christmas. I feel like you get a lot of like candy cane, like mixed.
Yeah, I'm not picking up Dr. McGillicuddy's like no. Like, I might get tequila if I'm feeling fucking wild.
I will not do. Actually, no, I had a shot of tequila on my wedding day, actually, and I didn't like it. Was so normally I very much dislike tequila, but like, we had a group there, and I think there were like 6 or 7 of us. We were all doing shots. My wife was there, and she was like, I'm not fucking doing the tequila shot, like you can do it. I was like, bitch, I don't like tequila. But I did it anyways. It was so, and I wasn't really drunk because it wasn't in. The wedding wasn't an open bar, but we bought enough alcohol to where it didn't run out. It was one of those things where like we footed the bill.
I was almost really scared for a second.
Actually, no, it actually turned out to be less money for us to buy the beer and alcohol or whatever in bulk than have an open bar. So we had like Blue Moon, which is my favorite. We had Corona, which is her favorite. I think we had like a wine, stuff like that. But either way, then somehow tequila got brought in. So yeah, I won't do tequila. But when I had that shot, it must have been a good tequila, because my tequila experiences were all like college type days. I didn't go to college, but when I visited people there, it was the shitty tequila. It was the tequila that was like in like the plastic bottle that was like next to like the Svedka vodka. It was just like not
I've
good.
been
But
there. In college, we used to drink the Humidor, which is like they give you $10 to buy it. And
they're like, just take it.
Yeah,
just take
it burns clean through. I'm bringing it up to the counter. I have to sign a release. They're like, "Are you sure you want this drink?" I'm like, "Yes." They're like, "Are you sure you want to drink this drink?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm signing away my life. It is fantastic. But when you come up here for this Patriots game, we'll do a tequila shot of something nice. My favorite, the Don Julio.
I think that must have been what it was, because it wasn't bad tequila. So, okay. So what I will say then, when I go up there, I'm going to ask you something I probably 99.9% sure you have no idea what it is. Do you know what soju is?
Soju. Yes. Is that sake?
No. So sake
it's like
is
the little green bottle.
Very similar. Sake is its own thing.
Yes.
Soju is so my wife is Korean. Now I always tell people that, and she does not look Korean, but I never tell them that. So when they see her, they're like,
"What's up with this?
Who is this?" Like, who is it
from? The good Korea or bad Korea?
The good one. So
cool.
So soju, it is it's basically Korean vodka. So the first time I had it, we were at a Korean barbecue with wifey and her parents. Father-in-law ordered soju, so I was like, I'm a man, I'm gonna order it. Mind you, this was like 8 months ago, so I was 29, so felt like I was gonna turn into a man there. I was like, balls have dropped. Get me a soju too.
Gotta come eventually.
You don't drink it, you pour it in little shots, take little shots of it, whatever. You definitely know it's vodka. You definitely know it's some sort of alcohol. But it's one of those things that you can keep drinking, but it's the alcohol. It is the definition, the poster child of the alcohol. When you drink so much of it and you stand up, that's when you know you're drunk.
Oh God.
It's a problem, but it's really good. So they have a bunch of different flavors. They got strawberry, passion fruit, a bunch of different stuff. So what I'll do then, I will either bring some up or I'll get some there. Very good stuff. So I think that's probably what to bring it back to football. That's probably going to be what I will be drinking this weekend. That mixed with a little bit of Truly, probably.
There you go. You'll have to keister a bottle and bring it up here for me.
Oh, it's phenomenal. We could probably sit there with like a couple bottles and be like good to go.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's very good. You don't mix it with anything either. You just kind of pour it, drink it.
Like it. I'm always open to new alcohol. Food, little sauce, new alcohol.
Yeah. New alcohol. It's like, whatever. Like if it gets me there, it gets me there.
Exactly.
So anyways, alcohol, all that fun stuff out of the way. We are going to get to big game this weekend. I will say probably, and I know we've said it so much, biggest game of the year.
Yep.
Right. All things considered. If you lose, I feel like you fall to, I don't even know what seed you'd fall to.
Imagine like the 4th seed.
Yeah, probably, right, at best. So Patriots Bills in Foxborough. I don't know what the weather is supposed to be there. But either way, it's gonna be cold. It's going to be I doubt it's gonna be a blizzard or like a rainstorm like we saw when the Pats played in Buffalo.
Sunday's gonna be rainy and 40 degrees.
That's my shit right there. That's my shit. So, okay. So, see, I don't mind that as long as the wind isn't crazy. I have no issues with the Patriots playing in the rain. No issues with that at all. I think I'm going to kind of say that I think the Patriots win.
I think so too.
I'm not afraid. I think one of the main reasons I'm not afraid of the Bills is because I feel like they're going to want to stop the run so much that the Patriots might know that, but then the Bills might think the Patriots know that. So maybe they won't try to stop the run, but then maybe they will. So I feel like it's going to be one of those like weird like things. I don't think the Bills know what to expect. I think the Pats win this game rather comfortably, to be honest.
Bill and McDaniels have a chance to really play mind games with this game. I think the Patriots definitely win pending injury. Like obviously if we have no one, then I think we take the loss. Like that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
But I said it in the last show. I'm going to stick with it. I look at history to know where I'm going type deal. So like we got swept last year by the Bills.
That was insightful as shit.
I think, hey, what can I say? Sometimes I busted out. Most of the stuff I say is really stupid, but Last year we got swept by the Bills. This year I think we sweep the Bills. In recent history, if we split, then I believe we're just going to split again. And obviously, eventually I'm going to be wrong. But it seems like more often than not, that's kind of what happens. It happens with the Dolphins. Basically, it's happened the last 4 years with the Dolphins. We always lose one to the Dolphins. And I'm going to stick to that until I get proven wrong. But that's why I think the Miami game's a guaranteed win too. So I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to Joe Namath this one. I'm going to come out here and personally guarantee a Patriots dub pending any crazy COVID injuries. I'm going to guarantee a Patriots dub. Put all that extra pressure on the Patriots. I don't care. I'm not playing for them. Fuck them. I think they're going to win.
Cole Beasley is out for this game for the Bills. It's kind of big. Relatively big because he is their go-to slot guy.
He's good. I like him. Very reliable.
I think it's just one less guy. That's kind of what it is. I think the drop down from Beasley to the next guy is low. I don't know who the next guy is. I don't even think Bills fans know because let's be honest, Bills fans
as long as they have Emmanuel Sanders and Stephon Diggs, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't. Emmanuel see. I'm not. No, and I do like Emmanuel Sanders. I wanted him to come to the pass. He didn't, obviously.
That was shitty.
I don't know because Damian Harris, by the way, is back at practice. I guess he was so pumped up in practice. He was taking handoffs, yelling at Mac Jones. He was getting in everybody's face.
I would be too after the performance I just watched.
I think because him being out last week and watching Stevenson struggle, watching Bolden struggle, I think Stevenson, by the way, was not at practice today. He has an illness. We don't know what it is, but JJ Taylor is off of the COVID list.
Okay.
So I think I'm kind of excited if JJ Taylor gets in the ballgame because I think he's like a little bowling ball. He's like he is the definition of a change of speed back. If you have Damian Harris or Ramondre Stevenson, but it looks like it's going to be Harris and JJ Taylor. If you have both of them, that's a huge change of pace because you have your smash and dash. In my eyes, I think Damian Harris goes for over 100 this game. I think he's ready to go. He has fresh legs. I think
they couldn't stop him the last time. I have no reason to believe
they couldn't stop him last time. And I think McDaniel's just got in his head against the Colts and he tried to do all this weird shit. Dude, just get back.
Outcoached himself. You hate to see it. But it happens sometimes. It is what it is. Patriots are still 9-5. Yeah.
Put a fullback back there. Put 6 linemen in. Have N'Keal Harry block and just bully them. Yeah. Bully them because I guarantee you Damian Harris is ready to go. He knows what he did against the Bills last game.
Pro Bowl snub. Jakob Johnson potentially. I mean,
I don't know who made.
There are 5 fullbacks in the league. One of them is definitely Kyle Juszczyk from the 49ers. He's been a consistent Pro Bowler since he came into the league out of Harvard. I think he's a monster. But then other than that, fullbacks have been underwhelming, and there's not many of them. I can't think of much better ones that I'd want than Jakob Johnson right now.
So I'm trying to look right now, and I can't.
JJ Watt's brother plays in one. There's Andy Janovich. Neither one of them have done basically anything this year.
The only fullback from the AFC is Patrick Richard from the Ravens.
Yes,
very good.
He's
very
good. Yep, and he plays defensive tackle. So
yeah. So okay, I guess I get that. Whatever. That's fine. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense. Okay, I'm not gonna overreact. All right. I'm not gonna overreact like that. You check or use check whatever his name is. Fucking love him.
Monster. Is he? He's the Pro Bowler for the NFC, right?
He has to be, right? Let me see. NFC Pro Bowl roster. He has to. I don't know who else would.
Anything.
I don't know who else would be on there, right?
Egregious.
Let me see. So from the NFC,
I will start flipping tables.
Actually, you know what? Before we get into the exact specific, I got the roster here. So let's just start AFC quarterbacks. So
my homeboy.
Yeah. Who else would you say?
Not Matt Ryan.
I guess I'm not really surprised for the AFC, but I
kind of surprised.
I'm surprised at one name, but just because of how. No, you got Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert. So I guess I get it.
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay. So running backs, obviously Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, and Joe Mixon.
Love Joe Mixon.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who else from what other running back would be in there, I guess. See, that's where if Damian Harris stayed healthy, I guarantee you he would have took that third spot.
Yeah.
There's no way he wouldn't have. No way.
I don't know. Joe Mixon's been all in.
Yeah, but maybe. Well, no, because especially with Stevenson coming on, maybe Harris didn't.
Yeah.
I like Joe Mixon too. Wide receivers: Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, and Keenan Allen.
Jamar Chase made it as a rookie. Suspect.
Good. Hey, you know what, man? Good for him, because you know what? He's not going to get rookie of the year. He's not going to get rookie of the year. So good for him.
Definitely
good
not,
for him.
I don't even want to make it a Pro Bowl. I don't like that at all.
I don't know where his stats are, but I don't know. Well, actually, you know what? Because the Bengals are kind of good now. It makes sense that he got on.
Keenan Allen made the list.
Keenan Allen made the list. I think because he finally stayed healthy. When Keenan Allen is healthy, he's tremendous.
A monster. A dog.
But he always gets hurt. Tight ends, pretty obvious. Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce. So I don't know where Hunter Henry was on the list, but I feel he deserved to be up there. Maybe not on the team, but he deserved to be on there.
Where's Cordero Patterson?
Let me tell you. Hold on. Let me go to the NFC. NFC, yeah, I'll go through it real quick. You know where the quarterbacks are: Rodgers, Brady, and Kyler Murray. I mean,
wait, no Stafford?
No Stafford, which I think Stafford should have made it over Murray, because I have kind of a hot take with Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is an average quarterback that makes really cool plays.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I don't care for Kyler Murray that much. Running backs
like that, Sam.
Running backs are weird.
Green eggs and ham.
Dalvin Cook makes sense. Dalvin Cook's really good, but James Conner from the Cardinals, I didn't think he was having that good of a year. It's kind of weird. But I don't know.
Sorry, I have like a video playing in my ear right now.
It's porn, isn't it?
And I don't know how to turn the sound off. I think I just did. I just hear some dude narrating in my ear, and it's making me really, really uncomfortable. Yeah. All right, I'm back. Sorry, what were you saying? Before I was so rudely interrupted by what I think was Morgan Freeman. I was like, who is talking to me right now?
Yeah, who is speaking?
Yeah, I just hear one man. Like,
oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm like, Mike's really building this up. And also, Mike's sound black. I'm
Mike's
like,
voice sounds real weird.
Yeah. It's like James Earl Jones. I'm like, Mike?
No, I was talking about the running backs: Dalvin Cook, James Conner, and Alvin Kamara. I was kind of surprised with James Conner, but I guess he has actually been really good.
He's been sick. Yeah, no, but Alvin's missed some time. I wouldn't put Alvin on
there. Debo got in there for a wide. Wait, so what was I even looking at here? Oh, Cordero Patterson, not on there. Nah. You know why? I think because they don't know what to put him in as. He's not. See, so that's the thing with him. He's not going to beat out any of the running backs. He's not going to beat out any of the receivers. So you can't really put him in, which sucks, because he's been phenomenal. You got George Kittle, Kyle Pitts, another rookie that got in there, which I think Kyle Pitts has actually he's going to break like the rookie tight end yards record. But yeah, he had like 40 something yards against the Patriots. So
he's not good.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in a world where Cordero Patterson does as much as he's done this year and doesn't make a Pro Bowl.
You got to find a spot for him. You got to find a spot. I am happy. I will say this. I'm happy that George Kittle got on the list, because I have been a George Kittle guy for a long time.
Me too, but he's been injured most of the year. I wouldn't put him on there. Get him off that list.
Yeah.
I want players that played all year long.
No, you're not going to get him. You're not going to get him. So I don't know. So yeah, that's what you got there.
Where's Zach Ertz on this list?
He had to have been he had to have been like third or something like that. He had to have been, because I don't know. That's a weird list. But again, Pro Bowl, it's one of those things where it is kind of a name game, popularity contest. You know, like if your name has been in the news, you're going to get in there. Yeah. But so Patriots Bills this weekend.
Yeah, back to topic.
I'm gonna let you go first. How do you think this game goes? What do you think the score is?
I'm going to preface by saying this is, in my mind, in whatever reality, the Patriots are basically fully healthy. Like, any guys that they have are mostly insignificant guys that they aren't in the starting lineup that they don't need. I'm thinking COVID, doesn't have a huge impact on this game. If it does, then my opinions change. But the Patriots are in this Buffalo Bills team's head.
Mhm.
Buffalo has had high mountains and low valleys. They'll have some big wins against the Chiefs, and then they'll lose to the Jags. They've kind of picked themselves up out of the doldrums even after losing to the Pats. And now I think they're going to go right back down. They had that tough loss in overtime against Brady and the Bucks. This team has been kicked in the stomach so many times, and they've tasted the mountaintop and tasted the dirt at the bottom of the ravine. I think that this team is just one of those teams that you kind of kick around. This ends up being, in my eyes, a 31 to 14, maybe even 31-21 Patriots. Like, I think they win pretty handedly. Like, I want to say 31-14, but then I'm like, all right, like, the weather's not going to be that bad. Josh Allen's still going to throw it all over the board. So I'll give them 21 points. I'll say the Patriots win 34-21.
34-21. Yeah.
I'm going to switch 3 points for the Patriots there.
I'm going to switch up. I'm going to go similar, exactly what this week was. I'm going to go 27-17. I think they win by 10. I think the Bills score. I think the Pats are winning 24 to like 14 in the fourth quarter. Bills go down, kick a field goal, try to do some weird shit. They don't get the onside kick or something like that. Pats go down, score a touchdown. I think it's going to be 27-17. That's right. Actually, no, 27-13.
Ooh, okay.
I lowered that a lot. I lowered that a lot because I just don't see it with Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I don't see it. He's not that guy. You're not that guy. He's that guy. Absolutely. He's a gunslinger. That's what he is, which is great. Yeah. You know, like that's you're gonna win a lot of games, but he's gonna put the ball in harm's way. And I think the Patriots defense, what makes me think it's going to be the score even more so, the fact, I think you mentioned it earlier, the fact that the Patriots lost to the Colts almost solidifies this win, because I think you're going to have your vets who are you're going to have not only Belichick, but you're going to have your veterans on the team who are
the same thing. The Bills just beat the Panthers. The Patriots coming just like the first time around earlier this season.
Yep.
Bills off a loss, or Bills off a win, Patriots off a loss.
Yep.
It's science.
Yep. I mean, it's exactly what's going to happen.
Science.
That's what it's going to be. Science. It's
science.
There is, I think the game plan, it's not going to look as lopsided as it did. But I still think the Patriots are going to run all over them, because I think that they're going to go back to what they do. Their smash mouth offense. They're going to run it. You're actually going to see play action. You're actually going to see passes from Mac, not like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that Patriots teams that are constructed like this, who seem to have a good head on their shoulders, like collectively, you don't normally see them put up 2 stinkers in a row. So it's definitely not going to be anything like that. And I do think that this Patriots team knows how important this game is. I think that it means a lot.
Hear
to
about
them.
It all week.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, other than I mean, who's going to be out? Probably Nelson Aguilar, I would say. Kendrick Bourne, they're saying I think it's kind of going towards that. So, I mean, Aguilar, again, great. I still love him. I think he's a valuable part of the team. But I think for a game like this, I don't think he's that important. Or no, I shouldn't say that, because it sounds like I'm like diminishing him. I don't think him being out is going to lose you the game.
Okay.
Because I think that the game is going to be 65-35 running. I think it's going to be, not score.
I was like, excuse me. I get it. Like, too good.
No. I think that the Patriots run the ball a shit ton. Now, I don't know the exact number of carries, but just it's going to quantify.
Shit ton's a metric.
As a shit ton. Yeah.
Quantity.
So it's going to be a lot. I do think that Damian Harris has at least 1 touchdown. I think that he's going to run for over 100 yards. I think Mac has over 240 passing. I think he has a touchdown as well. No, I think he has 2 touchdowns. I do think Hunter Henry gets a touchdown. I think he's a machine in the end zone. In the red zone, there's nothing that they can stop him.
No reason to think otherwise there.
Josh Allen, the Bills offense more and more recently has been running Josh Allen on like the designed runs, because they have to, because their running game is so stagnant. So you have to run him. Josh Allen, let's not forget, he's still a little hurt. He's got that ankle still a little tweaked. So I don't know. I don't think that I think JC Jackson, he does a good job covering Diggs again. I'm not worried about the Bills. I'm going 27 to what I say 13, 27-13.
27-13.
That's what I think. Yeah. And I think, and also little teaser in there as well. I do think that the Chiefs lose to the Steelers. I think the Patriots come out of this weekend as the number 1 seed.
I have less confidence in that, but I hope so, and I think it's possible.
So do I. Oh yeah, so do I. That was just kind of a kind of pie in the sky
just
thing.
a throw in.
Yeah, because it's a weird, dude. It's a weird game. It feels like a trap game, but then it doesn't. So like I don't know what's gonna happen there. But no, that's what I think is gonna happen. I think it's gonna be 27-13. Would you say 34 to 21? 21. That'd be a good score.
21.
That's a good score. That's a good score. Good for Bills fans. They can still they'll come away from that game being like, oh yeah, but like we made it close, and this was Josh Allen, and we're breaking tables and we're fucking doing all this.
There'll be plenty of excuses for those Bills fans that we know to just harp on their normal.
Plenty of them. Zoo people. They're just messing around.
Crazy, really are just lions.
So I do want to say, and we've gone the podcast long enough without saying it. Thank you to Couch Guy Sports for letting us do this, for letting us talk about the Patriots and just the NFL and all this other shenanigans that we talk about. Also, big thank you to Shocked Energy. Again, I say it every week. Shocked Energy. If you like energy drinks, I'm not sure why you're not drinking Shocked Energy drink. It's kind of all in the name, shocked. Like you get, what happens when you get shocked? You get energy. That's what it is. You get hit by lightning. You get energy. It's
unless
science. It's unless you die, but assuming you don't, it's science. You get energy. Go to shockedenergy.com, CGSN at checkout. That is 10% off. Any flavor you want to get, any box, you have your selection of whatever box you want. CGSN, you get 10% off. Shockedenergy.com. Again, thank you, Couch Guy Sports, for letting us talk our shit here. I don't think I have anything else. Liam, you got anything else before we dip out?
Yeah, I gotta get me some watermelon flavored box right now.
Watermelon flavored box. That's the way to go. Actually, they have. I was gonna say I don't think they have watermelon flavored soju, but they have strawberry. That's what I will get when I come up there.
Come with my soju with some strawberry box.
Oh, buddy. Okay. So, anyways, for Liam McDade, he's over there. I am Mike Sullivan. We are Tuck Rule Takes. I'm here. He's there. You're there. Wherever you are. Thank you very much. Hopefully, the next time we talk to you, it'll be after a Bills win. No, God, Jesus.
You fucking idiot.
Okay, so I may or may not have COVID for the third time right now. So you got to give me a break here. I don't know. I'm getting all the different variants. Hopefully, we'll do a little
collect them all.
Next time we talk to you guys, hopefully, collect them all like Pokemon cards with them.
I got the I don't even know
Omicron. It sounds like a fucking Pokemon.
I was gonna say, every time I think of it, all I think is Omarion.
Listen, if I get that and I start dancing like Omarion, that's how you know it's an issue.
Yo, anyways, close to me. Just break out in song and dance.
This is Tuck Rule Takes. Liam McDade, Mike Sullivan, COVID infested. Hopefully the next time we talk to you is after a Patriots win. That's it. That's all we have.
That's right.
See you later. Go drink your alcohol. Merry Christmas, everybody, by the way.
Merry.
Will be the Christmas episode. So Merry Christmas. I do not like the holidays, but I hope everybody else does.
I do.
I know you do because you like all things I don't like. Merry Christmas. Tuck Rule Takes. We're out. Merry Christmas to everybody but Carson Wentz. That's it.
Okay. All right. Sweet faith.
Sweet faith.